Have you ever pondered the significance of Moses, not just as a biblical figure, but as a man of profound influence in history? Moses, a man of many facets, navigated the complexities of life with wisdom, courage, and compassion. He was a thinker, his mind always in contemplation, wrestling with the injustices he observed. He was a philosopher, grappling with ethical dilemmas and societal structures, shaping the foundation of ethical conduct among his people. Recognized as a prophet, he served as a conduit between God and the Israelites, guiding them through faith and freedom. As a fighter, he showed resilience against oppressive forces, leading his people to liberation. And most importantly, he was a compassionate leader, understanding the misery of his people, bearing the weight of their suffering. Join us as we delve into the fascinating life of Moses, a man whose influence transcends the ages. Born into a time of oppression, Moses' story begins with a tale of survival. Born to the Hebrews, an enslaved minority, Moses was born amid growing fears of the Egyptian pharaoh. The pharaoh, alarmed by the increasing population of the Israelites, feared they might ally with Egypt's enemies, leading to a cruel decree ordering all newborn Hebrew boys to be killed. Moses' mother, Jochebed, in an act of desperate love and defiance, hid her newborn son, protecting him from this grim fate. As the story unfolds, we find Moses set adrift on the Nile, only to be discovered by an unlikely savior, Pharaoh's own daughter. Identified as Queen Bithiah in the Midrash, she adopted the foundling, unknowingly welcoming an Israelite into the heart of Egyptian royalty. In Islam, it is said that it was Pharaoh's wife, Asaya, regarded as one of the 4 greatest women ever lived, who adopted Moses. Growing up in the lap of luxury, Moses was raised far removed from his Hebrew roots. Yet destiny had a way of catching up. An incident that marked a turning point in his life was his encounter with an Egyptian slave master. Witnessing the brutality inflicted upon a Hebrew, Moses was moved to act, leading to the death of the Egyptian. This act of rebellion forced Moses to flee, marking the end of his life in the royal palace and the beginning of his journey towards his true calling. In the wilderness of Midian, Moses encountered the angel of the Lord within a burning bush on Mount Horeb, a moment that he regarded as his encounter with the divine. This event set the stage for his return to Egypt, not as a prince, but as a prophet with a divine mandate, to demand the release of the Israelites from the chains of slavery. Thus, Moses' life was a paradox right from the start, a Hebrew by birth and Egyptian by nurture. His early life was a blend of stark contrasts, a life of privilege built on the suffering of his people. But it was these very contrasts that shaped Moses into the leader he was destined to become. A chance encounter can change the course of one's life, as it did for Moses. In the wilderness of Midian, a spectacle of flames caught his attention, a bush, ablaze yet unscathed. It was here, in this paradox of fire and foliage, that Moses had his first divine encounter. An angel of the Lord spoke to him from within the conflagration, a voice resonating with authority and purpose. "Moses, Moses," the voice called, and in his response, "Here I am." We sense his curiosity and readiness to engage with the unknown. This dialogue marked the beginning of a profound relationship between Moses and the divine. It was a communion that would transform him from a fugitive into a liberator, from a shepherd into a prophet. The voice from the burning bush revealed itself as God, the God of his forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This revelation stirred in Moses a sense of awe and humility. He was standing on holy ground in the presence of the divine. He hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. God shared with Moses his plan to deliver the Israelites from Egyptian oppression. He was chosen to confront Pharaoh and lead his people out of slavery. However, this divine calling was met with reluctance. Moses doubted his ability to persuade Pharaoh to rally the Israelites and to articulate the divine message. But God reassured him, "I will be with you," a promise of divine support and guidance. This encounter was no ordinary event. It was a divine intervention that shaped Moses' destiny and altered the course of history. It was a moment of calling and commissioning, a pivotal point in Moses' life and the lives of the Israelites. It marked the transition from Moses the shepherd to Moses the prophet, the liberator, the lawgiver. This encounter marked a turning point in Moses' life, setting him on a path of destiny. From reluctant leader to liberator, Moses' journey was nothing short of extraordinary. As we delve into this chapter of his life, we witness how Moses' tenacity and leadership shine through in the face of adversity. The story of Moses' demand for the release of the Israelites is one of resilience and determination. Backed by divine authority, Moses stood before Pharaoh, the most powerful man in Egypt, and demanded the freedom of his people. The Pharaoh, of course, was not easily swayed. In response to his stubbornness, God inflicted the land of Egypt with 10 terrible plagues, each more devastating than the last, from turning the Nile River into blood to the death of the firstborn child in every Egyptian household. These plagues were a display of divine power and a stark warning to the Pharaoh. Yet Moses' demand was not just about physical freedom. It was also a plea for dignity and respect for his people, a call for the recognition of their humanity. Moses sought to liberate the Israelites not just from the chains of slavery, but also from the shackles of humiliation and degradation. His demand was a clarion call for justice, an echo of the yearning of every oppressed soul for emancipation. Then came the Exodus, a monumental event that forever changed the course of history. Leading a multitude of people across the Red Sea, Moses demonstrated exceptional leadership. He guided the Israelites through a perilous journey, filled with uncertainty and danger. And when they reached the Red Sea with the Egyptian army hot on their heels, it was Moses' unshakable faith that parted the waters and paved the way for their miraculous escape. The Exodus was not just a physical journey, but also a spiritual one. It was a testament to the power of faith and the indomitable spirit of a people yearning for freedom. Moses, standing at the helm, became a beacon of hope for the Israelites, embodying the promise of a better future. Through the trials and tribulations, Moses remained steadfast and resolute. His courage in the face of overwhelming odds, his unwavering faith in God, and his undying commitment to his people set him apart as a remarkable leader. He was a man of action, guided by a profound sense of justice and a deep love for his people. Moses' leadership during the Exodus is a testament to his strength of character and his unfaltering resolve. His journey from a reluctant leader to the liberator of his people is a tale of courage, faith, and resilience. It is a story that continues to inspire, reminding us of the power of conviction and the enduring spirit of freedom. Moses thus emerged as a beacon of hope, guiding his people towards freedom. His legacy endures, a timeless testament to the power of faith, the strength of leadership, and the unquenchable thirst for freedom. At Mount Sinai, Moses would receive a set of laws that would forever shape the ethical landscape of his people. The significance of the Ten Commandments in the context of moral philosophy and societal structures cannot be overstated. They're not merely rules or regulations. They represent a paradigm shift in human consciousness, a new way of understanding our place in the world and our relationship with one another. The first 4 commandments relate to our relationship with the divine. They establish the foundation for monotheism and set the stage for a relationship based on reverence, respect, and love. The remaining 6 commandments focus on our relationships with fellow human beings, emphasizing the values of respect, honesty, and integrity. The 10 commandments are not just about obedience, they are about responsibility. They call upon each individual to take accountability for their actions and to recognize the inherent dignity of every human being. In a society that was marred by slavery and oppression, these commandments were a beacon of hope, a promise of a world where every individual is valued and respected. Moses, as the deliverer of these commandments, played a pivotal role in this transformation. His leadership was not just about leading his people out of physical bondage, it was about leading them towards moral enlightenment. He stood at the helm, guiding his people through turbulent times, always with the 10 Commandments as his compass. The 10 Commandments, therefore, were more than just a set of rules. They were a moral compass, a guide for how to live a life of integrity, respect, and love. They served as a blueprint for a society where every individual is valued, where justice is upheld, and where love and respect are the cornerstones of every interaction. So, as we reflect on Moses and his legacy, we see a man who was not just a leader, but a moral philosopher, a visionary who dared to imagine a world where love, respect, and justice reigned supreme. The 10 Commandments served as a moral compass, guiding the Israelites in their journey towards a harmonious society. After 40 years of wandering, Moses' journey ended within sight of the Promised Land. Our journey with Moses takes us to the final chapter of his life, a chapter filled with anticipation, reflection, and a sense of fulfillment. Moses, who had led his people through the wilderness, now stood on the precipice of Mount Nebo, gazing upon the land that was promised to his people. As a testament to his faith and leadership, he had delivered his people to the doorstep of their destiny. Yet he himself would not cross that threshold. At the ripe age of 120, Moses breathed his last on the summit of Mount Nebo. His life came full circle, from a baby hidden in the reeds of the Nile, to a leader who guided his people to the brink of their promised future. His final resting place remains unknown, a mystery veiled by time and legend. Moses' death marked the end of an era, but his legacy endured. His life story, fraught with trials and tribulations, was a testament to the indomitable spirit of a leader, a thinker, a prophet, and a fighter. He embodied resilience, courage, and unwavering faith. His teachings, particularly the Ten Commandments, continued to guide the Israelites, shaping their moral compass and societal norms. His life was a beacon for future generations, illuminating the path of righteousness and the pursuit of justice. His journey from the palace of Pharaoh to the desert wilderness, from the burning bush to the peak of Mount Nebo, was a testament to the power of faith and the strength of the human spirit. Moses, the man who stood against oppression, who led his people to freedom, who received divine revelations, left behind a legacy that transcended time and space. His story became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of faith and the strength of the human spirit. Moses' life serves as a testament to the power of faith, courage, and resilient leadership. Moses, a man of many roles, left an indelible mark on history. His life, a tapestry woven with threads of courage, wisdom, and faith, reveals the complexities and paradoxes of human existence. Born into a world of oppression, Moses transcended his circumstances to become a beacon of liberation and a symbol of hope. As we reflect on the multifaceted persona of Moses, we see a thinker who, despite his royal upbringing, recognized the inequalities that pervaded his society. His empathy for the oppressed and his courage to question the status quo are reminders of our own potential to effect change. Moses, the philosopher, grappled with profound moral dilemmas and societal structures. His delivery of the Ten Commandments at Mount Sinai marked a pivotal moment in the formation of ethical and communal harmony. These timeless principles continue to guide our moral compass, reminding us of our shared responsibility towards each other. In his role as a prophet, Moses served as a conduit between the divine and the mortal. His prophetic journey, from the burning bush revelation to the liberation of the Israelites, underscores the interconnectedness of faith and freedom. This narrative invites us to explore our own spiritual journeys and the transformative power of faith. Moses, the fighter, challenged oppressive forces with resilience and strategic leadership. His defense of the Hebrew slave and his role in the Exodus highlight his commitment to justice. His story encourages us to confront our own battles, to stand against injustice, and to strive for a world imbued with freedom and equality. Moses' deep understanding of his people's suffering was rooted in his own experiences of privilege and hardship. This intimate acquaintance with the human condition fueled his empathy and sense of responsibility. As we navigate our own lives, Moses' life story prompts us to consider the weight of our actions and the impact we can have on others. In reflecting on the life of Moses, we encounter a man who navigated the complexities of identity and purpose, who dared to question, to lead, and to hope. His enduring legacy transcends religious boundaries, offering universal lessons of courage, compassion, and conviction. As we navigate the winding paths of our own lives, the story of Moses serves as a reminder of our capacity for change, our potential for growth, and our shared pursuit of a just and compassionate world. Each of us, in our own unique ways, have the opportunity to play multiple roles, to be thinkers, philosophers, prophets, fighters, and compassionate beings. Moses' life story, thus, invites us to reflect on our own roles, our own journeys, and the legacies we wish to leave behind.